Hi guys, so I'm going to be doing a look on this look right here. It's like a soft and, I don't know, kind of romantic, smoky eye, mauve type of thing, a lot of plums and browns. And then I'm going to show you how I did my wig and make it look, I don't know, semi-good right now. It's still a little wretched. This wig was really hard to manipulate, and I think it's because I just got it. It's just so, like, puffy. And, I don't know. I still have to figure something out with that. But yeah, if you want to see how I achieve this look, then just keep on watching. Bye!
Hi guys, so I'm starting off with a fresh clean face, and now I'm going to prime my skin using the Too Faced Hangover RX primer. I am now going to prime my lids. To get ready for eyeshadow, I'm using the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and now I'm going to blend it out with the brush that came with the Naked palettes. And now I'm just buffing that in to cover up my darkness on my lids. Next, I am going to use the Mercier translucent powder, and I'm going to set that concealer. This will help blend out my colors later. Now I am going to use that light brown color in the Tarte palette, and I'm just going to buff that into my crease. I had to use a couple of coats of this. It was really pigmented. I'm just kind of darker, so I had to really pack it on there so it can show. And I'm using an E40 from Sigma. And now I am going to use the Morphe 350 palette, and I'm using a Morphe brush. I don't know what the name of it is. I'll write it down in the description bar. And now I'm just going to pack that dark red brown color into my crease, and I am using dabbing motions at first and on my outer corner, and then I'm using windshield wiper motions to blend it into my crease. I'm not focusing too much color into my inner corner. I don't want it to be a lot of product there. I'm focused most of it on the outer corner. I'm doing the same thing for my other eye. I'm just dabbing it on there, and then I'm going to use windshield wipers to move more of the product into my crease. And turn my brush to the side to blend it out into my transition color. Then I'm going in with the E40 to blend it all out again to make sure there's no harsh lines. And now I'm going in with the Tarte palette again, and I'm using that reddish plum color, and I'm going to pack that on with a precision blending brush from Morphe, and I'm going to focus it really low on my crease, right on top of the lid, and I am just going to use a little bit of product at a time and buff it in there and kind of move up a little more to blend it each time I go in. So I really want to focus that product low, but I also want to blend it out. And then I go in with my E40 again to blend it. Do the same thing on this side. I'm really focusing it low. I'm using a little bit of product at a time and kind of making a V at the end since I'm not doing a wing. And now I'm using that light pink color from the Tarte palette, and I am putting that all over my lid from inner corner to outer corner, right underneath that dark brown or dark purple color that we put on. Keeping it right under there. This is kind of going to cut my crease a little bit, even though it's not really a cut crease, but it's going to make it look like I do have one. Since my upper lid kind of droops over my crease, I have to make a crease with my eyelids. And then I'm going to blend it all out so it can be nice and blown out. And now I'm using that super dark color in the Tarte palette to line my upper lid lash line. I think yeah. And I'm just going to smudge that on there for my lashes so that it won't look super dark since I'm not doing liner. And then I'm using a pencil brush to blend it out. And now I'm using the L'Oreal Telescopic mascara on my lashes just to give it a quick coat. And then I'm going to do my brows while my lashes are drying. My brows are super easy. All I do is put a line of dip brow at the bottom, a line at the top, and then I fill it in the middle in with those two lines. It's super easy. My eyebrows are long, but they're not really thick, so that's why I use the dip brow to kind of fill them in. And then I am going to go in with the brow definer for my inner brow. Yeah, to make some hairs to make it look as thick as my outer brow. And now I'm putting on my lashes. I'm using Velour lashes in Strike a Pose. They kind of flare out at the ends, but they're still super thick and spidery. They're super pretty. I really like them for this look. And now I'm using the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. This foundation really irked me because it said it was for tan to deep skin tones. And I think it's kind of light for tan to deep, but it's okay. I made it work. It might look super light, especially when I start blending it out on my forehead, but that's because it's still the end of summer, so I'm kind of dark. But I think towards the winter it will look more natural and blend more with my skin tone. But it matched my neck because my neck is super light. I also feel like this foundation might have oxidized on me because when I started to do my contour and blush, it looked a little darker. Now I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and I use two concealers because I have deep set eyes and they're kind of dark underneath there, so I want to brighten it up as much as I can. This is in deep, which is okay. They don't have that many colors, but since this one has a kind of an orange base, it kind of serves as a corrector for me. And now I'm using the LA Girl Pro Concealers, and I really love these concealers. They come in so many different colors, and I really like that, especially because this one has a yellow undertone, which I am more yellow, so it looks more natural on me. It blends in way more than me using like the Tarte concealer all over my face. So I'm just using the Beauty Blender to blend that out, and you guys know that you blend this out, so I'm going to speed through this. I wish that I could do it this fast in real life, but that's not a reality. And then I am going to use the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder, and I'm just going to press that into my skin. I'm not really baking it, I'm pressing it into my skin because if I baked it, it will make my LA Girl Pro Concealer go from yellow to white, and that's not a good look. And now I am going to use a flat definer brush to do my lower lash line. I'm using that plum, that dark plum color from the Tarte palette to tightline my lower lash line, but I'm only keeping it on the outer 2/3 of my eye. I'm not really putting it on the inside, the inner part. And then I'm using a pencil brush and the Morphe eyeshadow that we use, and I'm just going to blend out that liner with that pencil brush. And then I'm also going to go in with a bigger brush to really blow it out and smoke it. And now I am using a little bit of that champagne color from the Tarte palette and popping that into my inner corner. Just because it was all matte, I feel like it needed a little bit of something to keep my eyes a little open more. So yeah. And now I'm using that same telescopic mascara for my lower lashes, and then I'm going to put the Wonder Pencil from NYX into my waterline. And then I'm going to use that bone color from the Tarte palette and put it on my brow bone to hide a little bit of those hairs and to also give me a highlight. And then I'm going to blend it out. And now I'm using the Kat Von D Shade and Light contour palette, and I'm using those two darkest shades, and I'm going to sculpt out my face to make it look like I didn't eat in a couple of days. And I'm also going to put it all over my forehead because my forehead is huge. I want my forehead to look like a two-head. So I'm going to pack on that dark brown on my forehead. I do this when I bronze, and I especially do this when I contour. Especially because I know when I contour, I'm going out somewhere, so I want it to look small as possible. And I make sure I really blend it out so it won't look muddy since I'm bringing it so low. So yeah. And now I'm going in with MAC Raisin. And I don't put too much blush on because you can't really see it on my skin tone ever. And now I'm going in with Laura Geller Gilded Honey on a Morphe fan brush. And I'm really packing this on because I truly do love glowing. But I don't want to glow too much. I want it to look a natural glow. As much natural as I can get packing on glitter on my face. So I'm using that to put it on my cheekbones. And I'm also going to put it on my nose, on my cupid's bow, on my chin, a little bit on my forehead to melt with that dark brown up there. But not too much because I don't want too much attention brought to my forehead. As you guys can see, that's an insecurity, I guess, right? Forehead issues. If you have a big forehead, comment down on the bottom so I don't feel alone. And I'm also going to use the Sigma tapered brush to blend out corners of those highlights in with everything else. And I'm going to set my face using the Mario Bedescu face spray. And now I'm going to line my lips using MAC Plum. And now I'm using Lonely Planet's New Pleasure. I really love their formula. They're an indie brand. And their formula, it's not too thick, it's not too thin, it smells good. And it lasts all day and it's not uncomfortable and it doesn't crumble. Most liquid lipsticks crumble on my lips. But that color was a little bit too pink, so I wanted to put a brown on top, so I'm using Beauty by Babies. Their formula is really similar. It's kind of thinner than Lonely Planet's, but it still feels comfortable. I mix those two together all the time. And now I'm using Lipkit by Kylie, or Kylie's Lip Kit in True Brown K, the pencil, just to line my lips. And now I'm going to do my hair. This wig was one of the toughest wigs I've ever had. It just reminded me of like Dreamgirls and Beyonce, that big poofy wig at the top. It's just, yeah. So I had to make it work. I just used a flat iron and a wand curler to really make that wig lay flat, and some setting spray. This is a full lace wig, so you can part it anywhere and it will look natural. So what I did was I just took little sections. I would run my flat iron through it because I was focused more on the middle of my head because I still wanted it to have that texture and still wanted it to be full. So I flat ironed a couple of pieces, and then I would use some hairspray, and then I would go in with my wand curler to really press down those roots. Those roots, I wanted them to be thick still, but they would be thick and stick up. I wanted them to be thick and lay down. So I did this so many times. I sped through this so that it won't take forever for you guys to watch, but this wig was puffy. And I got this from Premier Lace Wigs, and I love every wig that I got from them. This wig was really beautiful. I bought this wig myself, so don't feel like normal people don't get good wigs. They do get good wigs. Their wigs are just amazing. And now I'm going in with that same crease color that I used from the Tarte palette. I'm using that on my lace to do my part, even though I don't want a really noticeable part, because when I do my regular hair, my part's not that noticeable. And then I'm going in with that dark brown from the Tarte palette and putting it on my baby hairs so my hair can look as thick as this hair is. And then this is the finished look. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe. Bye.